Pepperoni, they say, was invented in America. It is a specific type of salami, sausages that are cured and fermented and usually air-dried for a period of time. And many articles online simply echo a claim from the Wikipedia entry for pepperoni, saying it was invented by Italian-American immigrants in New York in 1919. That same Wikipedia article, though, also quotes a newspaper advertisement from an October 1916 issue of the Anchorage Daily Times. Fresh from the smokehouse, it says, listing pepperoni alongside similar products like salami, summer sausage, capicola. So where does the 1919 claim come from? The source Wikipedia cites is an illustrated children's book called Marvelous Maps, Our Changing World in 40 Amazing Maps. And among the other delightful information contained in this book is the assertion that the world is a cat playing with Australia. The exact pepperoni quote from the Marvelous Maps book goes like this. The pepperoni sausage we top our pizza with was created in New York around 1919 and only became widely used in the 1950s when gas ovens became popular. Now, the imprecision of the phrase around 1919 does leave us some room to interpret that claim generously. But I'm going to put it to you this way. For pepperoni to get from New York in 1919 to Alaska in 1916, it would need a pretty fast car. I'm going to say a DeLorean. Now, another article on AmericaDomani.com mentioned a Michigan magazine called The Gateway, with a 1908 article about sausages that also cites pepperoni. I haven't found a copy of that article that I could read, but America Domani goes on to speculate that the heavy use of paprika in pepperoni may indicate an Eastern European influence in its creation. The heavy influx of Italians to New York City around the turn of the century coincided with similar spikes in immigration of Germans and Eastern European Jews. So it does seem likely that this combination could have produced a sausage like pepperoni, which combines finely ground beef and pork, heavily spiced with paprika and red pepper flakes, fermented and air-dried into a sausage that is so shelf-stable it is commonly sold pre-sliced in bags hanging at room temperature near the tomato sauce in grocery stores. If pepperoni had made its way from New York all the way to Alaska by 1916, it's no surprise that by 1927 it was a common snack for Italian Americans in West Virginia. It was around that time that Giuseppe Argiro, a Calabrian immigrant who had, like many of his fellow Italians, come to the mountains of West Virginia to work in the coal mines, noticed that many of the miners would fill their pockets with a loaf of bread and a stick of pepperoni to snack on during their shifts. After tiring of the mining life and opening a bakery, Giuseppe eventually combined the two into a single portable package, baking hand-sized bread rolls with pepperoni inside, mingling the red rendered pepperoni fat into the crumb of the bread in a way that West Virginians, whether from Italian backgrounds or not, have embraced in the intervening decades. Earlier versions of the rolls used Italian-style doughs, resulting in crustier rolls. But as more bakeries began producing the snack and experimenting with the format, churning out the rolls to the tune of many hundreds per day, many of them have converted to using softer American-style breads. Some use sliced pepperoni, while many swear by long, thin bats of the stuff carved straight off the stick instead. Cheese has become a popular addition to the pepperoni rolls as well, mozzarella usually, though some bakeries offer pepper jack versions as well. And when I decided to make these pepperoni rolls for myself, I did my research. I read dozens of recipes, and almost every one of them used store-bought frozen dinner roll or bread dough. I'd show them, I thought. I made a pizza-style dough instead. 66% hydration, slow fermented in the fridge over the course of a couple of days. I rolled it out into circles and I filled it with large round slices of deli-style pepperoni, or long thin slices cut from pepperoni snack sticks, which are the only solid pepperonis I could find at the time. I tried them with cheese and without. I tried mozzarella and pepper jack. They were all fine. But when I finally broke down and bought some frozen bread dough and a full-sized stick of good pepperoni, freshly sliced it into pinky thick slabs and cradled them in that soft fluffy dough, with mozzarella or with pepper jack or even with a little bit of peppadew cheddar I had left over from a previous project. That was what I had been shooting for all along. Soft bread, spicy sausage, the orange pepperoni fat soaking into the crumb and oozing out along with the melted cheese. The rolls with mozzarella in them were my favorite. The mozzarella seemed to carry the pepperoni flavor better than just bread alone, while the pepper jack and the cheddar took a lot of the flavor focus away from the pepperoni. Now, using pre-made store-bought frozen dough may seem like a cop-out, but for me it delivered the best result.